What is going on, guys? Welcome to episode 50 of Keeping It Real with TNL. I'm here with the lovely Coach Lori, and today we're going to be talking about the MetFix Spark program. Guys, this is going to be big. This is literally just coming out, and it's going to be changing lives everywhere. But before we talk about MetFix Spark, we're going to go over one of our Monday fix questions / what we did when we talked about the keto flu. Let's say that we had a Monday fix about the keto flu, and it actually helped start some great conversations. And we actually got some pretty good questions from some of our own members. So because we thought that it was so good, we're going to give you guys some tips and things to think about if you may be experiencing the keto flu symptoms. Obviously, headache, fatigue, brain fog, lightheaded, dizziness. Those are some of the common things. But I'll let Coach Lori kind of talk about what tends to cause those and how long it usually lasts.
Perfect. The answer for how long the keto flu should last, it does vary, a couple days to like a week max generally. A life hack is to drink some exogenous ketones like Keto IQ, which is beta hydroxybutyrate, which is a ketone that is naturally produced in the body. But I do want to point out, because I'm still a big fan of doing things the right way with food. Like, I'm not like, hey, everybody going like chug and go back into ketosis. That's for someone that's really suffering. If you're going from like standard American diet, cold jump into the deep end of the pool for ketosis, you're going to feel a lot of this. And a lot of it is from magnesium being low, hydration, different things in the body start to drop. Levels of minerals and things of that nature. So the exogenous ketones help with that and help push you right into a faster state of ketosis. But again, the way to get into nutritional ketosis is by reducing carbs, lowering insulin, and burning through glycogen stores in the muscle, right? So only then does your body start producing ketones like the beta hydroxybutyrate that you can drink exogenously, right? So I want to take it back to ketogenic diet is amazing.
Yeah.
Even when you're a carnivore, you're in a ketogenic state, unless you're really going heavy on the dairy, because there's carbs in that. But yeah, that was a great question. I was happy. I was not here for that. I was flying back from Hawaii that day. But a lot of people had that question and were like thinking about it. So that makes me happy, right?
Absolutely. And guys, I'm actually very glad to know that there is a term for this now. I'm going to go kind of back in time. We'll go to 2013. I'm sure it was probably there, but as I've done more research, these were the symptoms that I was experiencing when I had first started my weight loss. And I hate to say this because it sounds terrible, but it's basically like heroin withdrawals. You're literally ending something that's like a drug, and your body is literally it's going through withdrawals. You obviously have taken away carbs, which means that your glycogen is now lower, so it's used to pulling from there. And because we just started it, the ketones aren't high enough to give you that energy yet. And it's that sweet spot of trying to make it, as Coach Lori said, through the 2 days. And again, this is a bad example, but a heroin addict usually needs 48 hours to go through these withdrawals until their body starts to function how it's supposed to. So you have to understand, as Coach Lori said, if you've been eating all the processed foods, that's not real. That's all chemicals. And you're now clearing your body of them, which is why you're experiencing some of these things. And obviously, like she said, lack of carbs mixed with lack of electrolytes. Yeah. Those are causing some of those issues as well. But you have to understand that you are doing a big switch, and you're going to have to go through that to get your body to adapt to the way that you want it to be now.
Yeah. That's the whole metabolic flexibility, fat adapted, the things that we've been talking about. On a funny note, because I never can take anything too seriously, the Dave Chappelle episode where Rick James is like, cocaine's a powerful drug. Like, every time someone talks about their sugar withdrawals, I flash back to that, because literally people are like night sweating, like shaking, headache. And the closest I come to that, because I don't know why it wasn't as hard to get off sugar as I thought it was going to be for me 13 years ago when I went paleo, but it was coming off caffeine because I was pregnant. And then, and I just remember just like going to work like a freaking zombie, because honestly, I mean, if there was a rehab for cappuccino consumption, I'm down to 2 a day.
Down to a day.
but we're busy. So generally speaking, if I'm going to be a mom and a wife worth anything outside of work, I have to drink cappuccinos at 7 p.m. to make it till 10. True story. Yeah. But yeah, stick with it. If you're really suffering hard, Ketone IQ is great. I use it once in a while. There's with or without caffeine. Excellent. Gives me some extra energy, better than a cappuccino. Absolutely.
All right, guys. So we're going to dive into the topic that we obviously started out with, MetFix Spark. So the seminar staff, along with some affiliate owners, have got together and created a nutrition program for all MetFix affiliates around the world. And yours truly, Lori, was actually played a pretty big hand in this. So she's going to talk about that. And I'm just going to say, just even checking out the website, I love they use the term turnkey, which means for anyone who knows what, that's one of my favorite terms, because it means that it could basically, anybody could use it and it's going to generate results. If you have this, it's going to generate results. Just like a passive income home. As long as you have a home, the money's going to come. If you have this program, you're going to start to get the results. And they've made this so everybody should be able to use it.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about it.
So there was maybe 8 to 12 affiliates out of the, we have 100 in the US, right? I'm asking you because math is always what I fail at. And yeah, Monique, who we met from MetFix Pace, they do nutrition programs constantly at their gym. And she was a big player, and this was really awesome. And then the back end team, just some of the smartest and most technology driven individuals that you see in movies, like exist in real life put together. So in 2 months, weekly meetings, that's where you see me sometimes at this barbell class, because that was on a Thursday call, and then I come in late. And MetFix, we'll call it the mothership, like MetFix BSI up there. It's like we need to do something to give to affiliates so that they have something to roll out. Basically like an intro or a ramp to MetFix nutrition and health. And I love it because this 4-week introductory health program is designed to strengthen your metabolism through a low-carb, whole food approach and functional movement, right? So our gym, specifically MetFix Method, we will have it for members, and we will offer it to non-members as well. If they work out in another gym or work out at home, there's 4 workouts in a week they can do there. They can drop in to a class because every week we're going to schedule the weekly workout as probably our Monday or Wednesday workout for the week because they're great benchmarks. And it's a great way for our CrossFit members too to actually chart physical progress every few months with it. I love that. So basically, all my affiliates watching this or might get to it or share someone who knows a MetFix affiliate, we're the only ones in the world that will have access to this program. It's not for sale. Like you can't just go get a level 1 like anyone can at CrossFit or go to the MetFix seminar. You have to be an actual signed up affiliate to do this. Wow. So we're all launching the week of January 11th. Our gym specifically will be Thursday, January 15th, 6:30 p.m., 4 weeks total. Kind of like jumping ahead, but I love it because so I hit the ground running. As soon as I was in, I was like, okay, I know the why, I understand the science, let's save some people. We've been right into small specialty population groups. We've done a ton of stuff. I shared that. I put together the training for our coaches in the gym and in the other gym that came with us. But a lot of people are like, what do I do with this information? So this is great because people that are really busy, I get it, owning a gym is exhausting. 17 years this gym has been here and it will never run itself. It just never can, right?
Yeah.
So this is an easy way for all the MetFix affiliates to reach people all over the country and in the world. There's another seminar training this weekend in London. Last weekend it sold out and had to create another one a week later. Yeah, it's quite
so it's selling out now.
All over the world. It's pretty amazing. So I guess I'm blown away by the dedication of the MetFix staff, right? The people that work for MetFix BSI by BSI. They're doing an amazing job. So I'm really grateful to Pete and Dale and Mia, Ethan, everybody. Connor put some great stuff together. I could list on and on, but it's like a 10 out of 10. I was in the planning process and I'm on the computer stand. I'm like, fuck, this is amazing. Like, it was amazing.
So you were basically, so yeah, that's going to so this was like a very big mastermind and you guys were kind of digging away, like putting stuff up and taking stuff down, trying to get the perfect thing, and you guys managed to create MetFix Spark through that process.
Yep.
Can we do one thing, Randy? I want to try something new. Can we just tilt at least somewhat towards each other?
I just put on lipstick or my hair's a mess. Sorry about that.
This feels a little bit.
Yeah.
Sorry, never go like that.
Whatever, next hurt. Oh, maybe that's why neck's always sore.
Literally.
See, literally. We might as well open up some physical therapy in this place now.
We're doing all this other stuff. So seriously, no, this is very cool, and one of the reasons that I'm a fan of this whole MetFix Spark and having this is because, like you said, it puts the spotlight back on the foundation of fitness, which is the nutrition, and that is where most people have we know it's important, but we can't quite always want to make that big of a jump. It's like, look, I've already showed up here to the gym. That's maybe I'll start looking at food. But this switches that role, and it lets the people get why it matters, why we need to eat this way. But not only that, why it's going to help you on this journey. Because as me and you have found out, when you have a why, it's going to be so much easier to know this is why I'm doing this, so my body doesn't get this blow. So now I know why I'm lightheaded. Now I know why I fall asleep at work at 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
And it's like, now that obviously knowing that and telling them that, it makes, okay, now let's combine this with the workout. You can't go wrong. And that's how come I've been a big fan of MetFix from the start, just because it puts the attention back where it needs to be on the nutrition, because that's what's going to save your life.
Yeah.
Dude, like, I know guys that could fucking back squat 405, but they're still type 2. So what's it for?
Why is it happening, right?
Exactly.
Why can't you outrun what you're eating and you're like a stud and I can not even pinch fat on you, but there's something wrong.
There's something wrong.
Yeah, we talk about this all the time, you and I, because we fight so hard to like save everyone. We're so invested that it's almost like a knife in the gut when someone won't do their part and just stay healthy, get healthy. Like it's like parenting. Like you want to make everything work and you want them to succeed and not make mistakes, and you're just like, oh my God, why are you doing this?
Why?
Our parents are going to watch this and be like, yeah, we saw that with you too. Like,
No.
And that's the thing. I think I know what sets this apart. And I made a short about it yesterday. It was like, hey, I've been CrossFitting for 13 years. So why was it in 5 months that I got the fittest, healthiest I've ever been in my life at 48 and a half? Because I understood what's happening in the body. Why, when I eat fruit or gluten-free bread or cassava siete wraps because I can't do wheat, or why is it when I just once a month go out with my friends and drink or, have gluten-free pizza? It's just once in a while. Why is this happening? Because you know what happens now when you eat and how the body responds and the glucose and the insulin and the ROS and all this stuff. And they're like, oh, so basically it didn't matter if I worked out or not that day. Because once I ate that, it was game over anyways. But people don't get that. And I think that the ideas around food, that it's a reward or, oh, I deserve it, or I work really hard. We see this with alcohol. We see this with food, sweets.
Parties even. Like
clothes shopping. Like we always are looking for something as a reward instead of just giving your body what it needs. Your body taking the shape that God intended it to have.
Exactly.
That's what I'm like, I guess.
The abs that mean you have, that's the reward.
I was like, that's fantastic, right? So, but it's hard because, as we talked about last week with Avery, like addiction and behavior issues they're real. So we're not here to minimize, judge. We're here to say, look, here's a week by week, step by step process. Like week 1 is like audit your pantry. Let's get rid of the things that we know we should not be eating or snacking on and start rolling back the bad carbs that sabotage you for a day or two, depending on how sedentary or active you are. Like if you're constantly eating carbs or having a treat and just going to bed like that, like how long is it going to take the glucose to be managed? How much insulin is that taking? And it's a vicious cycle. Like the longer we eat like this, the more insulin resistant our cells become. And then we're pre-diabetic. Then we're type 2 diabetic. And then we don't change the way we eat and we get on like Ozempic or glucophage. We still eat like shit. but in small quantities, there still does damage.
Yeah.
And then you're type 1 because your pancreas is like, guess what? I can't make the B cells anymore. Now you're completely insulin dependent. We've seen people do that too. So this program will give you a very easily accessible understanding of the science and the biology behind it all and their support. We're going to have, what are we going to do, that Stand app probably, just a private group that's not social media because we do not need that noise in the background.
Yeah.
We can talk. Yeah. I mean, we want to support you through all of it, really.
Absolutely. And like Coach Lori is saying here, this is something that some people, we are hope that if you're watching that, you need to ask yourself, like, when's the last time that I honestly was able to control my addiction and behaviors around food?
Yeah.
Because we're obviously going to say who this program is for shortly, but we just want to touch on this too. Because once again, at some point you're going to have to learn how to eat right. And I've never seen anything quite like the MetFix on why the food needs to be this way. And then to kind of cope with the whole workout thing. Let me just use this metaphor here. What would be the point? Look, most people would probably not buy a sports car if they knew it had a salvage title. You'd probably be thinking twice. And that's what most people's bodies are who are super fit and working out, but everything under the hood is fucking salvage. It isn't working on it. And at some point, it doesn't matter how good it looks on the outside, it's going to fucking break down. And that's what we're trying to stop. We are trying to clear out the salvage titled bodies and give you a new engine to run with the look so that you are fully functioning across the board. That said, who is this 4-week course for?
Sure, for everyone. So for our CrossFit Standard Row members, especially if you've been here a while, like, you should take it because you need that understanding. I put together a course so all your coaches could be trained and have an understanding, so that they can answer questions honestly. It's never going to be what you want to hear. No one's going to tell you can eat like shit all the time whenever you want, or 80-20 until, while you're rolling back a health problem. You really have to tell the line. But it can be gradual too, right? So if you've been here a while and you're like, God, no matter how hard I work out, I'm still overweight, or my A1C is still high, or this is like the missing piece to your puzzle. For newer members that have come on, like, we offer nutrition guidance always. If you're not in one of our MetFix small groups that does like personalized nutrition for each person, this is a great way to get that help you need. And we're going to open it up to the community. So we'll get it out there. Anyone in the San Ramon or Tri Valley area that wants to be here in person or remotely on Zoom, because we're going to have that as an option as well, do it, because you're not going to find this anywhere else. Right?
Love that. Yeah. Yeah, and I also love that this has the potential to help a large group of people, because obviously other states can get involved if we're doing Zoom stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously, love that. And then, so tell me about the program setup. We already know, but how often are the meetings? Is there an intake progress? Is there any caps that anyone should be concerned about? Do they need to sign up immediately?
Here's the deal. We're opening up signups live. Today I'll be watching this on Thursday, the 11th. And so you can go to CrossFitSR.com and purchase. You can sign up online, right? And it's good to do it now, because I'm going to give you an intake form, right?
Okay.
I want to see some basic stats. We're going to give you free Styku scans of beginning to end, so you can get your body image and all your stats and body fat. And then there's, of course, it's optional, but for me, I really drive home on the few blood markers too. So if you have recent blood work within like the last 4 to 5 months, you'll have everything you need except fasting insulin, because nobody does that around here. But that's the most important blood marker that nobody does. Your fasting insulin can build in the wrong direction 10 to 15 years. And then one day your doctor tells you you're pre-diabetic, and they missed 10 to 15 years stopping that, so you never got there. That's the blood marker. All the other shit is crap. Nobody gives a shit about your total cholesterol either. Give me your ApoB if you're really worried about it, and your triglycerides and your HDL. The rest of it's, once LDL can actually show correlation between heart disease and that, we can talk about it. But until now, I'm wasting my time. I don't need that. I want your fasting insulin, your ApoB, triglycerides, HDL, C-reactive protein. Why? Because that's a measure of inflammation in the body and a marker for heart health.
Lovely.
Stop running that all the time now too, right? Yes. So these are, there's like 5 or 6 blood markers on there, couple of measurements, waist measurements, height, kind of different things like that, just to kind of see where you're at. Because we're going to bring this up too, because we see with our clients inside and outside of the programs. We know what realistic weight loss is. Realistic weight loss, if you're really just losing fat while keeping lean mass and building a little bit of lean mass and doing it the right way, is like a half a pound and maybe 2 a week.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
But because of TikTok and GLP-1s, where people are just losing pounds and pounds of muscle every month, like they're wasting away and they're skinny fat because they're not healthy because nobody tells them to work out or what to eat, right? They just give them a shot. We don't expect weight loss results like that because that's not weight loss. Anyone could just starve and lose mass. Like, hey, my muscle's gone and my heart might be shrinking, but that's okay because I'm looking good. But
that's like on the Israelite slave diet.
It's like crazy. So yeah, 6 to 10 pounds. One of our members lost 11 actually in a month.
Oh wow! Those are good numbers. But that's not.
It's not.
It's not for
that. It's because they're like, I'm going to not have the carbs, and they take out the sugar, the processed foods, and the seed oils. And a lot of them take out fruit other than berries, which is smart because you can't eat half a pineapple and think that you're going to burn fat that day because your body's just managing that glucose insulin all day. And we're not burning fat because we don't need to. We have plenty of sugar to burn for energy, right? So we see amazing results, but the realistic ones of like anywhere from like 5 to I think 11 pounds is the most we've seen in 4 weeks in any of our food programs. Yeah. And that's amazing.
Yeah, like that's still progress. That's still huge progress. And not only that, that's in their first 4 weeks, which means that they have another 8 left. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
The average person, let's say that the average person who starts this journey would have seen that 11-pound drop on the scale after 4 weeks. You and I both know they're probably going to spend that next weekend eating like shit and celebrating or rewarding themselves because they freaking killed it, and they probably did.
Yeah.
But again, they've now restarted this whole process, and truth is, probably about 4 more weeks, they'll probably gain a couple back, and they'll go down, and they're going to be back on the yo-yo because they let that instant high kind of get that win, as opposed to saying, okay, this worked, now let's compound that result. And that's why I love these small group programs, because you get somebody who's been here for 4 weeks, and then they see that, and the coach looks right at them, and they're like, we got 8 more. It's going to get even better. Yeah. And seeing them get excited about that, doing like, and it's like, that's what separates this from 24-hour fitness or any other gym. Because I literally told one of our clients that today. I looked her in her eye and I was like, you've lost 7 pounds with us. You've gone down 4% in body fat, and you put on, I want to say it was like, dude, it happened. It was a nice amount of lean mass. And I was like, if you would have bought a 24-hour fitness membership January 1st, and I would have went back to get you on February 1st, could you have done that? She's like, absolutely. Yeah. She's like, I'd have showed up the first week, got on the treadmill and walked, and then I would have went to the machines and felt dumb and just went home. Yeah. And I'm like, and that's 90% of this world. Yeah. That's why these small group programs are getting the results that no other gym has produced. I haven't seen any big box gym do anything of this nature. Yeah. And then you could probably be like, well, I know people who've lost weight at that gym, and I'm sure I'll tell you, they probably had a personal trainer who was probably on their ass. Yeah. But naturally, that's not what most people are going to get. So not only with this program, you're going to learn how to eat right. You're going to learn what makes the body function right. You're going to get your metabolism back on track. And then we also give you the fitness protocol that we find works for us and everyone else. It's like you can't fucking sell it. I almost feel like I'm freaking selling knives. Like, get a buy now. Like, you're going to beat this deal. Where it's like 2 left. Yeah, but it is really that good. And I still get excited, seeing these people get these first 4-week results and seeing these changes, because it's like, usually most people don't even get to taste it and they lose motivation and they just stop. Yeah. But when you get the taste, when you're working with a coach who knows what they're doing, I guarantee you're going to want to go 12 more weeks. You're going to want to see, hey, can I push 24? Can I keep this up? And obviously that's what we would want.
Yeah, that's how our whole year has been. Just a matter of like, just keep going. And I'm gonna put this out there too, because I had this epiphany in Hawaii where back in the day, it was a struggle to not eat something that I really wanted. Right? I'm on vacation. I'm going to party. You know, I've been to like 4 parties. Do you remember last month? And there's hadn't been like 10 parties in a high school reunion. Had shit all over the place in October and November, and then a few so far this month. And it's like, if something's that important, or if I wake up one day and I'm like, you know what? Haven't had a scoop of pepperoni and ice cream in 2 years. I'm going to go to Fenton's and have a scoop. I'm going to make a conscious decision to do that and not be just dragged down into people making decisions for me. There's a difference in that.
Wow.
There's a difference in that. Because before, no, do you know what I mean? No, but like, it's crazy because you're talking to someone who from age 11 till 48 was just like the eternal fat person with eating disorders and, dude, emotional eating or sad eating or, you know, family drama, I'm going to go eat, like just so much shit. And it ruled my life. Or the people that are foodies and they just live to eat. Like that's an addiction. That's ruling your life. Yeah. Right? So what if you were different and you went to the Daily Fix every day and pulled up a recipe that is like always a 10 out of 10? Mm-hmm. You go do the rosemary butter chicken thighs that Avery told us about. Oh God, I wish somebody would enough for me right now. I've only eaten once today. I've been up since like 7. I'm hungry. What if you took pride in making these delicious dishes that are good for you, that actually foster fat loss, give you energy, and satiate the palate, right? Like, holy crap. But we're so, like, until we really get that break from the processed foods, the bioengineered foods that are literally made for us to crave them. Yes. Right? For anyone that comes up to me, they're like, oh, once in a while I have to have McDonald's fries. I'm like, I'd rather eat dog shit than McDonald's fries. They're nasty. They're not the fries of old that were cooked in tallow that had that beefy taste with salt. Yep. You can scrape your tongue. I haven't had McDonald's French fry. How old's Ashley? Almost 18? She was probably 2 the last time I've had a French fry at McDonald's. Yeah. I'm not even exaggerating. Yeah, I would say ask my ex-husband, but he's never nice. He's not going to help us.
He's not going to co-sign?
He's not going to co-sign anything. Never. But yeah, and I just remember you're just like, and I was fat back then. I was like, oh my God, what is happening? I shaved my tongue. Everybody got a big razor? What's happening?
It's like
you're so in the thick of the chemicals and the addiction and your tongue and your taste buds being just jacked from all this fake ass food. Like right now, I had 4 blueberries Monday. I hadn't had fruit in over a month, and I was like, I'm gonna have these 4 blueberries right now. But you know, I made a conscious decision, and I would have had more, but Tim and Ashley enjoyed eating the rest. So I had 4 blueberries, and I was like, that's like, remember when you eat chocolate covered dry blueberries? It was not sweet because I don't eat sweets.
So that it hit the tongue.
It hit the tongue. I was like, oh, this feels dirty. Is this so dirty right now? What am I doing with these 4 organic?
I'm going to call my priest.
I'm about to go to convention. I'll be Catholic again. Forgive me, Father. I had 4 blueberries, but they were really good, like the chocolate covered ones. But, you know, and then I'm sure on the flip side, like if I do go in, have some peppermint ice cream from Fenton's, because I haven't done that in 2 years, it's probably not going to taste as good as how I remember it 2 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, get yourself some good healthy food.
Yeah, but I still love what you said, though, is that even if you did choose to eat that way, it's a conscious choice that you are making on your own, as opposed to allowing a craving to control it, or I had a bad day and that's controlling it, or my daughter or my son was an asshole and that's controlling it. Because that's not controlling it.
That's not.
That's allowing.
That's being controlled.
Yes, that's being controlled by it and using that as your vice to solve the problem.
Yeah.
I had a bad day. Food. Nobody said hi to me. Food. That's your drug, as opposed to, I'm living my life, and you know what? I'm going to make a personal choice.
Yeah.
I'm going to have some ice cream because I want to have some ice cream.
So I'm just going to do that.
And that's that.
And I'm not going to stress about it, and I'm not going to be like, oh no. But if I choose to do that, it's my choice. I'm going to tell you this, because I don't get to watch much TV, but there's a new Law and Order Organized Crime.
Oh.
With Stabler.
Stable.
Watch it in a minute. It's just trying to get really woke with the SVU. I said SUV. Damn, Lori. You only have one cappuccino today. You can tell. I know. You can judge me on that.
SUV.
I'm just going to get rid of my airbrush.
Yep. Have a little Ford Explorer parked there.
Some asshole's going to copyright this and make money.
Oh, for sure.
Don't forget the royalties where you heard it from.
Yeah.
So Stabler's brother is being a total dick, and the other brother's like, "What's wrong with him?" And I was like, "Stabler has a family?" Because again, I've never watched this before.
That's a story.
It's like crazy. And then it pans over to him, and the brother's like shooting up in the car. And that moment where he's just like, "Oh," and I'm like, I remember feeling that way from certain foods, and like, I'm not going to sugarcoat what a freaking food addict I was when things were really bad. Like, you don't get to 235 at 5'3", like not being anything other than food addict, right? Like, you've got some behavioral issues with food, you've got body dysmorphia, you've got emotional eating. And you would just sit down. There was this pizza place in Dayton between Carson City, actually in Mound House. You passed the whorehouses on the right, and there was the Greek pizza place on the left. I'm not kidding. And you would get the Grecian pizza, and the toppings, like, it was like a tall pizza. And I'd probably eat it once a week. And I was so unhappy in my life and marriage and everything. And I just remember getting it and going home and just like eating it and just being like, that's so good right now. I was literally a drug addict with food. So I've never done drugs, but now that scene and that show was like, oh, I know that feeling where everything just melts away. And that was that moment that connected with Stabler's brother on the airplane coming back.
That's deep.
Literally, it's a true story. I'll be completely transparent. It's not like I haven't been addicted to the rush of endorphins or dopamine or whatever it is that you get from food or sugar or alcohol. Best espresso martinis in the world were in Carson City, Nevada, too. I remember the taste of that. The cigar bar.
Yeah,
my good friends.
This has been a very interesting episode. A lot of great truth, and I'm not keeping tabs, but for some reason we mentioned heroin like 3 times.
I know.
What are the odds?
It's the least amount of you can never really get off of it. Yeah. The chances of getting off of that's crazy. So props to the individuals that have overcome that demon. That's crazy. Yeah. Heroin is, I would say, that probably plays a larger role in killing the human spirit as a whole because it just numbs you so much. And once you get to a point where you crave that numbness, anything else will require you to have to become who you once were. And that's hard once you've used to being that way. I can't even imagine. But, all right, let's get back. Yeah, so Thursday nights for an hour, you're going to learn, you're going to have packet of information, you're going to have an intake form, you're going to have a week of tracking food that you can do in an app if you don't like to write stuff down. Another life hack is just tell ChatGPT what you ate. It'll break down your protein, carbon, fat. Super easy if you remember. Yeah. Someone also said that you could take a picture now with chat with it, and it probably, I don't know the accuracy, but it could probably give you at least kind of something. Yeah. We may have to test that on our next podcast. We'll probably make some random meals and see what it says. I'll put my picture of my lunch and it'll be like, where are your carbs at? It'll be like, you're missing a nutrient there. So the weekly talks are going to help educate everyone. We're going to do some small breakouts like we did in the training I did for you guys so that people can like talk and bounce ideas off each other. We're here every step of the way from the learning to any questions during the week to our app group that's private. We're even going to help with like designing meals. What else? I wrote a lot of stuff down. There's a lot of stuff. There is some good stuff. Styku scan, the bloodwork redo at the end. And really, it's just about empowering you with knowledge and understanding. If you have an understanding of how food works, and we can get you out of the matrix of the bullshit lies about food we've been taught for our whole lives, it's life-changing. And your health will never be better when you cut out the carbs and put in the protein and high fat. So, kind of just to piggyback on your matrix statement, like, I'll be honest with you guys, this is, for some, this needs to be a moment where you need to make a choice if you're going to take the red blue pill in life.
because this is going to be, as much as we hate to say it, this is truth. And sometimes I know that everyone loves to live in ignorance and, oh, everything be fine. I could eat like this and things are going to happen. But once you know the truth, you can't go back because you now know this is why you feel this way. And when you now know why you feel and look this way, you have to fucking do something about it.
You do. And so I'm going to go off script a bit. The last thing I'll tell you is, since this is a 4-week MetFix BSI program, MetFix Spark, when it's over, we're going to have some options and availability for anyone that needs to keep going to do a one-on-one with one of our coaches, because they've all been trained in the nutrition. And whomever you're comfortable with, you guys can work out your weekly meetings on, in person, Zoom, FaceTime, whatever it is. So you have that support and you can go even deeper into science and all things too. So that's what we're looking at, is the 4-week program in January 15th till February 5th. And then you can do monthly, however many months you need with a coach while you're doing your CrossFit or whatever it is that you do for maybe you pickleball 6 days a week, whatever you do is fine. Be active. We love that. And then the one-on-one support and then the next time we'll run Spark will be, and probably right before summer, just to give people a way to get through the biggest traveling weight gaining time of the year, right? And then our MetFix Method 13-week programs, there's 5 of them starting in January. And every 13 weeks, you can continue on at the end for another 13. You can come into the program if there's space available. Those are limited to 6. MetFix Spark, no cap.
Okay.
I don't even care. I teach at UNR. I teach 100 people at Schmo. You be 100 people. I want to help as many people as we can. If any of our other coaches want to hop in and take the lead in any of the 4 classes, you might see that too. We're still working out the details on that.
You guys will probably see me.
We always work for the We should. It's good stuff. It's really good stuff. We love it. And where I'm going off script, and this is what's going to drive it home for this episode. So many people want to look a certain way, but it never goes past that, right? So many people need to be a certain way for a wedding or, there's events coming up and they'll do like a quick fix to do that. But there's only 3 things that make us change the bad trajectory we're on to reach out and get the help and take that hard step with food, right? And we talked about it in our staff meeting earlier today. It's that you're really sick and you have to, right? So sometimes it gets to cancer and then you've got to go cancer grade ketogenic, right? 20 grams of carbs or less. We saw Candy do that here, 77.
Yes. She's
got
great results.
Pancreatic cancer too. Like, guys. So illness, or sometimes it's just a diagnosis of diabetes or prediabetes. I shouldn't say just, because that's the driver of all the illnesses, right? The metabolic dysfunction, that mitochondrial metabolic dysfunction. And then for some people, I think they finally just get to the point where they've had enough.
That was probably us.
That was us.
It's like we're at our own rock bottoms in our own personal situations where it's like enough is enough and we had enough awareness to recognize.
And then the other one is what? The big why?
Oh, yeah.
So if the why of nutrition, if that why isn't enough to trigger the response in you to make the change, like for me, I started 13 years ago, paleo CrossFit San Ramon, because I needed to live for my daughter. Getting a divorce, like I had to be there. So she had a stable, healthy, alive parent to see her through. And that was my why. And then once I got to a certain point, and then all my health stuff was cleared from that, you're just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And
that's the hardest part, is that most people don't go long enough into the journey to get everything that they're supposed to get out of it. And that's the scary part.
You just want to stick with it.
Yeah.
Like, here's the deal. When your kid's like, are we there yet? Like, look at the map. Or your wife, spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend is like, fuck, are we at Disneyland yet? High fives, pain in the ass. Oh, dude, we're good. 3 hours and 27 minutes. And you're like, fuck, because there's an accident. Yeah. Like, there's no end point. Honestly, your health should always be a priority. And whatever it takes to make that a priority in your life is what it takes, right?
Yeah.
The sooner you do it, the better off you are, because once you've been insulin resistant, pre-diabetic, and diabetic, you can never go back to the way you lived full time. Like, it's going to not happen again. It's going to happen again. People that go in and out of pre-diabetes, like, fuck, that's crazy. That'd be like me going in and out of insulin resistance again. Like, I've been in it twice in my life, late teens to early 20s, and then back a few years ago with perimenopause, which again was not the only driver. It was just weight gain and stress and all that. But I don't want to do that again because that's enough to really jack up the way the body works. And I can't give you new organs. I can't help you if you're a type 1 diabetic because you pushed too far and we couldn't get it to a place where we can maybe foster what B cells are being made. Roll back a new virus that might have been doing that. So the sooner the better. And 4 weeks is not a lot of time for any of it, but it's enough time to just kind of get you used to the cold water in the pool, right? Like, it's the easiest analogy. And then just it makes it easier every week. And before you know it, you're going to be like metabolically flexible at week 4 or 5 and just hang on to it for a while. Like, do you really need to go do the prefix menu on Valentine's Day with the chocolate lava cake in the shape of a heart? No, you don't. You can let that go this year. Like, ride the wave and see where you end up. Because I never thought that I would be in a size 4 jeans and pants and Lulu top. Everything is a 4. There's no more 6s, right? Yeah. It's not a fluke. And it's just been like, like, you know. So it's like I shortchanged myself thinking that I would never, like, the 145 is as good as it would get. Your body will get rid of the fat you don't need. Let her cook. Let it do its thing. Do your thing. Like, go with it.
On the fucking stove. Get me ready.
I know. Exactly. So see what you can do. And when you sign up for this program, like, really, really go the distance with the blood work, because 100% of our members in the small group that do it and then get the retest done and then have all had phenomenal results. Like, no more fatty liver disease, no more diabetes or prediabetes after a decade. God, what else? A1C down super low, not pre-diabetic. No more insulin resistant.
All those things.
No more high C-reactive protein. How are teenagers coming in with like a 4 out of 5 on that? That's terrifying. Yeah. So the blood work is wonderful because it really lets you know what's happening inside. And when you take care of the inside, the outside takes care of itself. I didn't do anything different. I just, yeah. There was no GMs. One person asked me if I took Ozempic, and I was like,
someone asked you that?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Are you taking Ozempic? And I was like, fuck no. Because it's insulting.
Yeah.
Because I know that I have the answer through MetFix, and I'm not.
Dude, that's
I'm not in a hurry.
Thing. I would have lost.
She know, and she was asking. I think for
Couch here used to spread rumors that I fucking took steroids. That's
no. Oh, what a loser.
Yeah.
No, actually, we're all natty up in here right now. Like, we compete and be clean for powerlifting, Olympic weightlifting, the games. You could do our blood work, and you're going to be like, oh.
No, it's just fun.
Numbers are good, and there is no prescription for that. Yeah, no.
But it's just the perception.
I've done that.
Exactly, but it's
like,
it pisses me off because it's the perception that people have that this person can't be that fucking good. When it's like, no, she's that good. Yeah. I'm that good. You're just not. That's why you're not here. Like, you're like, there's no way that you could do that naturally. You have to do something. No, I'm just not lazy like you. That's it.
It's a priority. Like, I did 2 workouts in the Marriott gym, and then I had to run and yell, excuse me, at Diamond Head to make it count. Because, like, we laughed. I was like, that's the other thing. Like, if VO2 max is up from the training and stuff we do, like hikes, they need to be like death-defying hard, or they don't do much for me unless I'm running. And thank God for the stairs at the end, because that always gets the heart rate up. But, just this program is amazing. You're going to see a lot of different things on social media. You're going to see stuff on our YouTube channel, an e-blast here and there, like our monthly stuff. Get signed up, get started, get onboarded first so that you're ready to hit the ground running on the 15th. And for all my parents and people that travel over Christmas break, kids are back to school that Monday. So We tried to plan it perfectly. Like nobody's out of the country, out of state, out of town. Kids are back in school because a lot of our members are parents. So it's like, think about that. And for anyone else, like, welcome to the Method community and CrossFit San Ramon. Like, come in and be a part of MetFix Spark because it will change your life. And it's not going to be, it's not difficult, honest to God. It's laid out so gently and so welcoming and warmly to get you into the idea of what you should be doing and why, that it's not going to feel like a slap in the face. I promise you. Because I would tell you straight up if it was, because then I'd set you for failure if I did it right. So, yeah. And then speaking of GLP-1s, let's end with this. We have Met Power, which is Tuesday, Thursday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday. We have so many programs for GLP-1 users to support them with nutrition and supplements and strength while they're on it, and then supplements while they're getting off it and keeping them from gaining the weight back and having any organ damage with things or muscle wasting. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 5:30. Okay, 6 people. Again, all these are 6 people. Tuesday, Thursday is stronger in the shift for perimenopause and menopause. Only program, I create them all, put things together. I created the daytime stronger program that was badass. I did not create that. I'm going to coach this one too because I live it every day. I lived it, right? And now I'm symptom free. I'd love to see that for other women. Tuesday, Thursday, 5:30. Then Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6:30 p.m. Once in a lifetime weight loss challenge comes back up. And then stronger, better, faster. Tuesday, Thursday continues on their next 13 weeks, 6:30 p.m. And then our Forever Fit. We did say 65 and up at first, but some people 55 like need to get active. So if you're a senior or, get in here. That's just Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10:30 to 11:15. It's a month thing. And we're trying to work with the county to do some subsidizing seniors for their fitness. Some people's insurance do that. So that's what we have on tap for 2026. It's going to be a hell of a year. 2026 is going to save so many people, and I'm here for it. I cannot wait.
Love it. I love it.
So
and this is the other tip. Something else that I just feel love about all these programs is I look at these other gyms now, as we always talk about. 24-hour fitness is like some random public high school. This right here is one of the top private schools probably in the nation with what you're going to get. And that's why we produce the best, because it's the best. It's very simple. Now,
yes.
Really quick, randomly, let's talk about your boy Kennedy doing 18 pull-ups. Hold it down.
I can't wait to meet him.
The real one.
Cannot
respect that. You've been backing him since the start. He's been standing on business.
He's been standing on business. Yeah, I think there will always be pushback from people. Like I said, I mean, honestly, my child had all her vaccines and we hard stopped on COVID because I knew from people working in the labs what was happening and I knew we didn't need it. And we've never been sick with COVID. So we're good. But she does have the vaccine injury from the kindergarten ones, like to the small group of kids in the Twin Creek area that all got cold urticaria. And they all went to the same Kaiser and they all got the same vaccines. And it's really rare. Yeah, I know. And my child's not autistic or on the spectrum, so I can't speak to this. But one of my dearest friends' oldest son was fine until his 2-year shots, and then he went dark. And there's plenty of parents out there. So those of you that still want to do things and flip out about the need for vaccines, no one's taking that from you. But don't shit on the people that live it every day, because that's fucking horrible.